Hey, this is the portfolio that got me into a really prestigious art academy in Europe. The academy I'm enrolled in, where I'm struggling because it's so hard, is actually considered one of the top academies here. It's the National Academy of Art, and every year, hundreds of people apply. Only a small number of those applicants are accepted though, and I was one of the 6 artists who got in. I'm pursuing a master's degree in painting, and considering that I came from a background in digital art, not traditional painting, it's honestly kind of amazing that anyone even batted an eye at me. Digital art peasant. Ew, she even took AI art courses. What a disgrace to traditional art. You're probably wondering, how did I impress the professors enough to be accepted into a traditional painting program, especially when I hadn't studied traditional art at all before? The answer: my portfolio. By the way, someone's building something up. I'm sorry for the noises. Creating my portfolio took an entire year. I knew I couldn't do it alone, so I took lessons with a professional tutor and his assistant. They're both so cute and so sweet, and they have my whole heart, I swear. Traditional art is incredibly challenging, and in Europe, these standards are extremely very high. My background was in digital art from Jordan, but I needed to prove I could handle the traditional techniques they expect here in EU. In Jordan, we have some insanely talented artists, and I'm so lucky that I studied under people like Hassan, Abu Laban, Jihad Amiri, and Hazim Al-Zarbi. If you're wondering what the hell are those weird letters and words, it's just Arabic. So these teachers gave me so much during my bachelor's study, seriously. But here it's less modern and more traditional. I knew I needed to match that traditional academic vibe to even be considered for the master's program. For a whole year, I took weekly lessons and practiced a lot. I learned to use mediums I'd never touched before, like ink and quill, oil pastels, watercolor, and charcoal. Traditional charcoal, by the way, is messy and gets your hands and clothes black while you draw. I worked a lot with oil paint and focused on still life subjects like the one behind me. Even when I returned to Jordan, I kept painting because I didn't want to fail and reapply. So I even drew in my vacation because it was a worst case scenario, having to redo things, and I wanted to get things right from the first time. The application process. When the time finally came to apply, the exam consisted of both a portfolio showcase and a face-to-face interview. I didn't just want to show my skill, I wanted to demonstrate a willingness to explore and be creative. So along with the traditional mediums, I included some digital art and digital painting and digital charcoal. Even though I knew they mainly wanted to see traditional skills, I wanted to show them that I was open to experimenting. For example, I included an experiment where I made my own paper by blending pieces of recycled paper and plants with glue in the blender, and then molding it into plates and drawing on top. I even drew a bird and glued my favorite tea bag, as if the bird is holding it from its beak. It turned out the professors were intrigued by this, and I also made sure to look presentable. I wore a traditional Arabic dress, hoping it would reflect my personality and culture I was raised in. Arabic dresses are usually modest and not revealing, therefore they create a sense of mystique and intrigue, all while being covered in sparkling jewels and intricate patterns, creating a very alluring feminine visage. And I hoped that dressing that way would make me stand out, and it worked. Waiting for the results. After the interview, I was cringing a bit, replaying some embarrassing things I said, wishing I hadn't said those things. Plus, I saw the other applicants waiting in line, and some of them had paintings way better than mine. And I remember thinking, goodbye, masters, I'm definitely not getting in. But then, wow, boom, accepted. I was so happy, my family was so proud too, and it felt incredible to achieve all that in a short time. But then reality sank in. While I was celebrating, I was also dreading what was coming. Internally, I was sinking and sinking and sinking. In Europe, especially the country I'm in, education is very education and super competitive and in-depth. I knew doing art here was going to be unlike anything I'd experienced before. For personal safety reasons, I'm not going to reveal the country I'm in right now, but I will do a reveal once I complete my master's and finally return to my homeland. If you think this conversation would have been better with a latte, you can totally buy me a coffee or a matcha latte, which I prefer. The link is in the description. I worked so hard on my art portfolio and now it's thrown somewhere in the back of my wardrobe, but it has opened this huge door for me. If you have questions, drop them in the comments and I will make sure to check them out. Missing Jordan. I knew that these next 3 years would be really tough, and I knew I would miss Jordan more than anything, so I made sure to have the best summer ever there. If you want to see what that was like, I actually put together a recap video of my 2024 summer in Jordan. Secret? It was a breathtaking summer. The link with the montage video is also in the description box in case you want a sneak peek. And I will also add it at the very end of this video so you can enjoy the vibes. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this little snapshot of my life. I don't really make personal videos like this, but if you like this style of content, please let me know by subscribing and leaving a like. See ya, bye!